First of all, I want to thank everybody who voted for me in the primaries to get me to this spot. And those who didn't vote for me, I invite you to check out my website. That's www.virgilforcouncil.com. Or better yet, give me a call on my toll-free number of 877-398-2840. So we can talk these issues over and how I feel about tribal government. My grandfather was James Coon. My great-grandfather was Joe Coon and Pete Eskew. I'm part of the Turtle Clan. And from the grandfather's teaching, you've heard me talk before, and I feel very strong about this, is that you have to be a humble person before the other teachings really work well. To me, that is the foundation for the other 6 teachings. And the second one that's so important to me is being respectful to our citizens. Being a Turtle Clan, we're supposed to deal with truth. And with that said, I just want to make a couple of comments in regards to truth. Truth without humility, folks, truth without humility can be mean. And humility without truth can be misleading. So you have to bridge these two together. And it's important when we talk to our citizens. And when we're listening to our citizens, what I'm saying here is that when you bridge these two together, I'm listening to you, I'm asking you questions so I have a better understanding of what you're saying so we can move forward in a good way to resolve these issues. We are faced with many challenges, and just a couple of them. We've already heard some of our council people talk about the Constitution, and I agree with that. We need to work on it. It is a living document and needs to be changed. But it's like a big cruiser or a big sail ship. You just can't do it on a dime. You've got to do it slowly and be very deliberate and make small changes. I think the Constitution that our people have put together, they've done a good job initially, but it needs some changes. As an at-large candidate, as I'm talking to the citizens, I'm finding out that the outlying areas, these citizens feel like they're the step citizens or the step children of this tribe. And they're not getting the attention as the rest. And I agree with them. We need to move forward in this direction. And then one of the things that we have to do is give a voice to each and every one of you guys here. And that has to be done. So when we vote for our elected officials, everybody has an equal voice in that. Another one is this full disclosure. It's very important when we elect people, we understand who we're putting up there. I've heard some people talk about being in Lansing. I've heard other people talk about, and it's true. We have to put our people in there with integrity. And I can tell you right up front that my credit rating is 814 out of a possible 850. I have 0 points on my driver's license, and I don't have any felons. Moving on with these challenges, we need to do economic development. You know, and I say that we need to do it in the Muskegon area. We talk about the casino, and it's more than the casino. We got the trading post here. It would be nice to have a trading post down in Muskegon. We also need to look at housing down in Muskegon. We're developing housing up here, but we got to do it down in Muskegon. We have more members in Muskegon than we do in this area, so we got to support those things. Managing our enterprises, and I want to address this with Glenn's question about, and I'll address it right now, is about the 3 branches of government. And Janine put it very well. It's about roles and responsibilities, and everyone has their roles. But we got to go beyond that a little bit. When I say that, when I look at the judicial branch and the executive branch and the legislative branch, there's 3 walls. And the legislative branch does their stuff, and they throw the ball over the wall to give it to the executive branch, and the executive branch says, well, okay, but this isn't working, so they throw the ball back over the wall, and the communication isn't there. It sort of breaks down. Classic example of this process is you look at the commercial fishing program. It's broken down, it's failed. The way you get around that issue is, as I said in my card and then in the currents, is that we need to look at a 17A. Maybe not exactly duplicate of GTB's doing, but something like that, in which you're bringing all the three groups together on a committee working on these enterprises and moving forward with this. That's how you get through these issues, and that's how we can make these changes in our three branches of government to work better together. The other one is, I've been getting some questions about the sunset clause. When I was in college, I had a professor once tell me there's men in the ranks who will stay in the ranks. Why? Because simply they can't get things done. And what I'm saying about enrollment, when a man reaches or a woman reaches the age of 18, they need to make a decision whether they want to be a citizen of this tribe or not. And we should give them a time period, whether it's 6 months to a year, but we need to give them a time period to get enrolled in this tribe. But after that, folks, the door should close. I'm not talking about changing blood quantum or anything. I'm talking about the standard, but let's get this enrollment taken care of now. Community service for higher education. The only way I got my college degree was because I served 2 years in the service in the military, and a GI Bill paid for most of it. We need to do this for our children. We need to help those children move forward, provide them an avenue to get that higher education. I'd like to conclude the story, but I'd say I'm running a little short on time. But I encourage you to read my website and give me a call, toll free. I'm on 877-398-2840. Okay? Pardon?